the house. They're going to run the jet sweep. Lobo's blowing up. Ball's out. Jake Saltonstall has the loose football.
Hello, Lobo fans. Welcome into your Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzales. I'm Robert Portnoy. Coach G, congratulations. A big rivalry win over UTEP. Way to go.
It was good. You know, the 80th time playing the other school down south, and I thought it was really good. I mean, we had a little bit of rivalry injection into it. I mean, do you see where we put their band at the beginning? All that stuff, it just kind of plays into it. I mean, they did that to our guys last year, so it's all kind of fun.
Goes back to the early 1900s, and you're so deeply rooted in the history of the program. It's cool. I know you want this series to continue, don't you?
I do. I mean, I think it's a great idea to play your local rivals. I mean, I wish we could get games with Arizona, Arizona State, Utah, BYU, all those schools, and UTEP included. I mean, the old WAC schools, we should play them every year.
All right, a 27-10 win for the Lobos over UTEP, and a game that in the first half, in particular, the Lobos dominated. Your defense was just lights out.
You know, we were really good at getting off the field. We created some turnovers. We scored on defense, and it gave our offense some good field position. Now, we had good field position in the second half, too. We did not capitalize on. But in the first half, I thought we did a good job on both sides of the ball and on special teams, creating opportunities for our team to be successful.
I remember an early conversation during training camp with one of your senior leaders, Jarek Reed, and he said something that you would later say, and it's clear that the players are starting to deliver it now. And he said, you know what, I just wanted to make sure that Miles Kendrick knew that the defense, we've got their back. If they can't move the ball, it doesn't matter. We're going to go out and get the ball back for them. And this was 3 weeks before the season started. He was talking like this. They're doing it.
They are. I mean, the conversations on the sideline have been really good. They cheer each other on. I mean, you can very easily, when you have one side having more success than the other, very easily cause a divide in your team. But I think we've built that team chemistry right now, and the kids are no big deal. Let's just go do our job.
It does feel like it's one cohesive unit. There's not an offense and a defense. It's just the Lobos.
It is. It's just the Lobos. That's the perfect way to put it.
All right. So the defense was dominant, and the offense was able to move the ball early and take advantage of the great field position they got from turnovers. And, of course, the defense created a touchdown on its own.
We did. Really nice play by Jarek Reed. And when you run to the ball, good things happen. I mean, we obviously had 7 takeaways because of effort. I mean, we've got good players. We made some interceptions. But the 3 fumbles they were caused by aggressive, violent hits, and then we had guys around there to recover it. So that helped on Rico's interception. He was running the ball. It popped up right to him, and then he had a wall of red jerseys in front of him, and he walked right into the end zone. So, I mean, those are all positive things because they're playing hard.
You're not counting on 7 turnovers every week. How does something like that happen? That's so amazing.
Well, that hadn't happened since 1986 against Memphis, so that's a long time ago. I mean, I was 12 years old when that happened. That's not the expectation, 7 of them, but taking the ball away is. And any opportunity we get, now we've got to do a better job of cashing in on those opportunities because we didn't do a very good job of that on Saturday night.
Nate Jones, another start, his second of the year, and finally he got it going at the tailback position.
I thought he'd let the game come to him, which is something he didn't do last week. And I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, he had some of them explosive runs up inside. He was physical, ran over a couple guys. So I think as we continue to play more games, you'll see the Nate Jones that we all expect to see.
Little follow-up on Nate before we get to our first break. You talked about his first game. He was not patient. He wanted to turn every single run into a house call. He did bounce some outside this week, but why was it different?
Well, he went to the initial hole, and then he made somebody miss and ran around him. Last Friday against Boise, it was, if something wasn't there, it was sideways right away. And you can't do that. You've got to get vertical first and then make your moves, and he did that on Saturday.
All right, a dominant first half for the Lobos in this win, 20-3 at the break. We break down the highlights with the coach next. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show. We're set to break down the first half of a Lobos' dominant win over UTEP. That was on Saturday night at University Stadium. So, Coach, this one you guys get off to such a fast start, and I know getting going early, that's big.
You know, it was really big. I mean, the alumni were lined the tunnel. It was really exciting. Our kids got some juice coming out, and then you see Cody Moon run over a running back. That's our expectation. You're supposed to do those kind of things.
Dontrell Moore got so excited when Cody Moon ran him down and got to the quarterback. What a play early.
You know, we got him back behind the chains, and our guys are really starting to understand third down and the distances, and we've been pretty good on third down because of that. I think it's all a part of the maturation of the defense. Now, right there, you saw a great corner route by Luke Wysong, and then there's one of the runs you talked about with Nate Jones. I mean, he hit the hole early, something opened up to the outside, and he accelerated.
He had a terrific game, and it was so good to get him loose. We know what he's gone through, and here's Austin Erickson. I thought you guys were very efficient offensively early.
We gave him some runs, we gave some play actions off those runs, and we had some guys that were wide open. I thought Miles did a nice job of getting outside the pocket, throwing the early corner out to Luke. So they were doing some good things on Saturday night. Now right here, and I don't know why UTEP wanted to do this. They thought they would challenge Jarek Reed all night long. And it didn't do him any good. You got plays like this that he creates a turnover opportunity for Rico, and Rico walks into the end zone.
Rico Hanna's first ever interception, Rico Hanna's first ever touchdown, and it's your senior leader, Jarek Reed, getting a hand in, popping that ball up in the air. And it's because you guys run to the ball, Coach, that Rico's right there to catch it.
An easy catch, didn't have to dive. It's just it's a reaction. The ball's thrown, you go. And I thought we did a great job stopping the run on Saturday night. UTEP wants to be a run-first team, and I think we held them to 54 yards rushing. So, we did a good job at the line of scrimmage.
This hasn't happened too often this season where a line drive punt gets run back, and this was actually a field position flipper for UTEP.
We changed our protection so we could seal up the inside, and we didn't get off blocks, and that was the play where Tavian Combs got hurt on. Now that one, Dante Martin should have come up and would have had 8 turnovers, but he's got to make that catch. Ball's got both hands on it. We got to be able to keep him from getting on the scoreboard, and that was the only points they had in the first half because we dropped an interception.
So their kicker, Beckley, he's a good one. He buries a long one. I love the fact that Dante comes off his man, breaks off of his coverage because he sees where that ball's going, and he should have had that pick.
He should have got off the field. There's another opportunity for Nate to hit the hole. Here we go again. He's being real patient and then getting vertical. He's got some explosiveness when he takes off, and we need to continue to make those holes so that Nate can do those things.
And it did feel like a couple of these early runs, Coach, he was just a step away from breaking it.
He was, and here's a nice run by Miles. Obviously, Miles is limited in his speed. He's not as fast as Nate, as Christian, or Sherrod, but he did some nice work right there, getting a first down and keeping the drive going.
So here you are down in goal-to-goal territory, and you get a flag in the end zone.
Yeah, they were holding Andrew pretty good. Miles does a good job of getting outside the pocket right there and finding the right receiver. He threw it in the area. They got the penalty, and then there we go. Knocking the ball in with Sherrod White. He's physical down there. It was a good opportunity to get on the scoreboard.
I love the way you use Sherrod White. He caught another ball out of the backfield, a big seam route. I can't wait to see that one coming up. And how about this? Halsey, the freshman. Unbelievable.
He did a great job. If you watch the whole play, he's actually down there showing like he's at linebacker depth, going to cover the back. Creeps out, quarterback never saw him. He's got great speed. He rifled to the deep middle and went up, high pointed the ball, and came down with an interception.
I don't think we gave enough credit to the youth that are the depth in your defensive secondary. It's terrific. And there's A.J. Odoms, a new starter at the corner with a PBU.
Really nice job, was patient right there. I thought he did a good job. There's another opportunity for Nate. Hit the hole, made a move past the line of scrimmage, and then bounced it outside to get some positive yards.
And here's the play coming out of the backfield, and you've done this twice now. Remember it against Maine, and you get it here with Sherrod White on a seam route.
If Miles throws that ball in front of him a little bit more, it's probably a touchdown. But great job of recognizing the coverage from up top in the box. We got checked into the right play, and they did a good job.
What about Miles Kendrick's play overall in this contest, his third as your starter? Here was a design quarterback run.
I thought there were a couple things that he did really, really good, and I thought there were a couple things that were not so good. We need to do a better job of attacking the pitch key on the option so we can get the ball to the perimeter a little bit faster. Other than that, I thought he did a pretty good job. Unfortunately, right there, we missed a field goal. We get down there and miss a chip shot.
They continue to take deep shots. They took a ton of them, and for the most part, there were a couple they hit, but you guys were terrific in coverage.
Yeah, they had 114 yards in 2 of them, and that bothers me because of the coverages we were in. Right there, it's a really nice catch by Chipofo, but Jarek Reed's got to be able to get there faster so that ball's not completed, and we got to intercept that ball in that coverage.
You told us about their fullback, their H-back, and how good he was, and that was a terrific catch. You don't see a guy like that make that kind of catch too often.
He's physical, he's got good hands, he has 5 catches now on the season, so we should have been a little bit more prepared for that opportunity. There's a great job by Ray just defeating the tackle one-on-one and getting a sack on the quarterback, and this knocked them back. It made a 4th down and enabled us to be able to move the ball down to get some points right before half.
And again, depth. You're like 2 of your best linebackers, and your linebackers in this game played fantastic.
They did. Hopefully Cy and Dion will be back this week, and then we'll keep going. This one right here, they took a shot at the end zone on 4th down. Jarek Reed actually made a really smart play. Could have intercepted the ball, knocked it down instead because he knew we'd get the ball at the 40-yard line.
What in the run game, just besides the fact that Nate Jones had a terrific day, and we're seeing Christian Washington start to get it going too here, the true freshman, but why was the run game more effective this week than last?
Well, in the first half, for sure, we were a lot better on the assignments. Now right here, you saw Miles take that sack. In the 2-minute situation, you got to be able to avoid that. Really nice execution on the out route right here, put us in field goal position, and George came in and banged one from 51. So I mean, that was a good job being efficient on that last drive. The running game though that you talked about a minute ago in the first half, we've got to do a better job of maintaining our blocks and our assignments. We missed up a lot of assignments in the second half. It wasn't because UTEP made some adjustments. It wasn't because they out-physicaled us. We were falling off blocks that we weren't falling off of in the first half. We've got to be able to play a full 60 minutes of mistake-free football to give ourselves a chance to win as we get into the tougher schedule.
So at the finish of the half there, we saw the Los Alamos kid, George Steinkamp, bury a career-best 51-yard field goal. Did you flip back at the field goal kicker position at the end of the game? Because George made his kicks in this game.
Well, you know, at the end of the half, I mean, if we needed George to kick a long one, that was always the plan going in. And then Luke struggled in the second half. So George had the hot hand, is much like our running backs. I mean, you want a stable kicker, but right now we're trying to get those guys some experience so we can find the guy that's going to be able to hit us a game winner when we need it.
Okay, so the Lobos have the 20-3 halftime edge. You can see they dominated statistically in the first half. We come back with second half highlights next. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzales. I'm Robert Portnoy, and it's time to get into second half highlights. The Lobos leading UTEP 20-3 at the start of the second.
You know, we came out, last year we gave up a big play. We gave up a big pass play on the first drive here. But here you go, A.J. Halsey. What an unbelievable play. Might be one of the best plays I've ever seen in my years of coaching. Smart, knew what he was doing, but the biggest part, the effort of that. He didn't give up. Ronald got beat. He was like, I'm going to get you, and he caused a fumble, and it turned around probably the entire outcome of the game. Because if that's 20-10, it's a completely different game with them having all the momentum, just like last year when we were down there.
Yeah, you guys had that halftime lead, 13-3, I believe it was, and got outscored 17-0 last year in El Paso. So Halsey chases down Tyron Smith. He's their slot guy. He's supposed to be a fast guy.
Yep, and you know AJ is one of those kids that we talk about on our team that's 10-500 meter guy, and he displayed it right there.
So defensively, Coach G, I just felt like in third down, fourth down, all night long, you guys were so good, especially getting pressure on Hardison.
You know, our kids have done a really good job of recognizing the down and distance. There's a decision right there that if Miles throws that 2 steps sooner, Andrew will have a lot better chance to go get that ball, much like our free safety did with A.J. Halsey in the first half. Theirs did it right there and made a great play. I really like the effort right there of guys getting to the ball, and you're going to see a couple opportunities later where it caused some turnovers.
So to me, that running to the ball, there's several plays here in the second half where you can see a white jersey surrounded by 5 tacklers at the finish of a play. It's definitely something that your team is doing consistently and consistently well.
You know, it's a pride factor that it's taken a thing of its own, and if we can continue to do that, we can eliminate big plays and continue to cause some turnovers.
So they got to run a little bit better here in the second half. Did they make some adjustments?
You know, it depends on how you look at it. I thought we were a little bit soft up front, and we came over to the sideline, and I told them that's not our standard. We need to do a better job. And I thought in the fourth quarter we were a lot better. There's another great play by A.J. Halsey, and then Omar gets the strip. Now Jake Saltonstall ripped it away from Alec right there, but that's 2 Lobos fighting together, so we'll live with that.
So you get the penetration from Halsey, you get the strip there from Durame, and 2 guys ready to recover it. One of them's an El Paso kid, Marenko. It could have been him, and it was Saltonstall.
And once again, look how many red jerseys were around that ball when it fell. I mean, that's the idea behind running to the ball and creating plays. Now, right there, Christian did fumble. He was able to fight and get it back at the end of the pile. We got to do a better job of making sure that we don't give the offense the ball back, the other team the ball back when we have opportunities.
So Aaron Rodriguez, your punter, and obviously a terrific day a week ago, save for the one that was blocked. But what about his performance in this one against UTEP?
All but one punt, the one that led to their field goal in the first half. It was a 50-yard punt that was about a 3-6 hang time. We just need to do a better job of hanging it higher.
And here you go. I don't know if I've ever seen you guys, I called it a zone blitz. I don't know if that's what it was, but you have a D lineman in Shul drop it into coverage, and he's right there. What a play.
You know, you ask Ian, they threw it right to him, and he's right. We need to do a better job returning the ball, get vertical instead of trying to catch your balance. Disappointing though, we had an opportunity right there to get on the board, missed a field goal. We got to put those in.
So the Lobos have missed a couple of field goals in this one, and then Hardison scrambling here, a lot of extra time. What about, what the defense is supposed to do, how it's supposed to react when that kind of situation happens. And obviously, it turns out good here at the end.
No big deal. Go out there and get the ball back for the offense, and that's what we did. Right here, we fumbled the ball on a pitch. I was disappointed in the effort to go get that football by our football team. We took it away. We can't give it right back. Now, this led to their other touchdown. We give up a fourth down play right here where we've got to get off the field. They've converted a fourth down, and then the very next play, we're in zone coverage and we allow a ball to get behind us. This is a ball that should be intercepted. And if you want to be great, you got to be great all the time. You can't relax, and I thought we did a little bit in the fourth quarter right here.
And that was one of 2 big plays over the top. And I remember a year ago, Coach, you said there were 6 of them, so you guys did a lot better with their long passing game this go-round.
You know, we made a majority of the 50-50 balls. They had 2 of them. It's too many still. Right here, if they connect on this onside kick, they have the ball down 20-10 with 4 minutes to go. We did a nice job. Ray thought he could go get it. It bounced off, but our effort once again took over and we were able to recover that. And then the offense did a nice job of putting the ball in the end zone after the onside kick.
There's Miles Kendrick, your quarterback, with a nice run up the middle. And I thought, in addition to scoring on this drive, you did it on the ground primarily, which is fantastic. And Nate Jones paying off that hard work and the long wait with his first touchdown of the year.
Well, you saw those 2 runs right there. That's the Nate Jones we expect. If the blockers haven't gotten everybody, put your head down, drive your legs, and run over them. And he did that on that last drive. I thought we started to take their will from them a little bit. And then we did a nice job right here in zone coverage. Dante did a great job of reading the backup quarterback's eyes. And, you know, we got another interception. We took the ball away, and then we were able to finish the game out with our offense.
I'll tell you what, it scares me so much every time I see a tackle like this one coming up, because these are kinds of tackles where injuries happen, and they threw a flag on that one.
They do. I mean, the horse collar, I mean, they put that rule in there to eliminate as many of those as you can, and I don't think it was intentional. Most of the time they're not, but they are scary.
So Lobos defeat UTEP 27-10, and Coach, I wanted to ask about the special teams play there at the finish, the hands team and the onside kick. Ray Leotele goes inside that 10-yard buffer to try to go get it. He has to leave his feet, but he's catching it about chin strap level. Whose responsibilities are what, and how much do you encourage guys, if they think they've got a shot, to go and get it early?
All those guys on the front line and in the back line have really good hands. I mean, we practice that every Thursday. Ray has the opportunity, like all the rest of them, if they think they can get the ball, they have the option to go take it. He thought he could go get it. It was coming a little hot. It bounced off of him. Now, Zach Vigil was being alert. The rest of the guys were, and we attacked that football and were able to recover it. If you're not into it, I mean, it would have been giving them the opportunity to recover that football and be up 20-10 with the ball and the momentum. So we've got a good plan every week, and they executed it. And if we're going to be in close games, we need to continue that.
Okay, we come back on the other side, put a ribbon on the win over UTEP, and look ahead to Death Valley and LSU next. Back to finish up on this edition of your Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzales. I'm Robert Portnoy. Coach G, a final congratulations on a rivalry win. You're 2-1. You beat UTEP at home 27-10, pretty convincingly in the end. So put a ribbon on that one, your key takeaways from a great win over the interstate rival.
I think we have a football team that plays really, really hard. We still have to clean up mistakes. We have to play mistake-free football to have a chance to win, especially as we get into conference games and starting this week at LSU. If we make mistakes, we put ourselves behind the chains on both sides of the ball. So we've got to know what to do and how to do it and execute that part better.
Okay, so the Lobos win over UTEP. They're now 2-1 on the year, and they have a tough assignment. The Lobos going to Death Valley to take on LSU at Tigers Stadium. Everything I'm told, it's one of the great game day atmospheres in all of college football, Coach.
You know, it's an exciting and a great opportunity for our kids. It's going to be 95 degrees. It'll be humid, which we don't get to practice in the humidity here. So it'll be a great challenge. And I thought we were intimidated, scared last year when we went into Texas A&M. I don't think our football team's scared. We're going to go in there, we're going to compete, and it's going to be a great opportunity to compete against a high-level opponent.
Let's hit on that point again for a moment, because you said when the Lobos took on Boise, one of the linchpins of the league, the Mountain West, that you didn't sense that at all. You thought that they went into that contest, despite being a double-digit dog, that they felt like they could win that football game.
No, I believe they did, and I thought they were very emotionally dejected after the game because the outcome didn't come out the way they had expected it to come out. And I thought during the week, listening to talk radio and newspapers and TV, people in our community expected us to beat UTEP. That's what we've been fighting for around here. it starts within our locker room, because if we don't expect to win, we have no chance. And now that the community is expecting us to win, there's some added pressure, which is what we want. And I think our kids are excited to have the opportunity to go and compete at a high level.
You guys were looking at possibly being 1-3. You don't ever want to look down the road, but this was a really important game. You never think early there's a must win, but this was a big game, this win over UTEP.
It was a great opportunity. I mean, if we want to achieve some of the goals that we've set forward in our program, you have to take care of the chances when you have them. And week 1, we did a great job against Maine. Week 2, we made mistakes that killed ourselves against Boise. And then week 3, I thought we were the more physical team on Saturday night. In a rivalry game. If we have the opportunity to play them again next year, they're going to remember that. And so we got to continue moving that path forward and continue to play physical football and take advantage of our opportunities.
We're reminded every week the college football world is not a big one. The quarterback, Daniels, for LSU, is a guy you know well.
I know him very well. We spent some time together at ASU. I helped him when we would talk about opponents' defenses and what I saw from them. Great young man, great competitor. He can run. And he can throw it. So we've got a great challenge ahead of us.
How big, how fast, how strong are they? Have you started to look at their tape and how tough assignment is this?
For the last 2 days, it's all I've been watching. It's a great assignment. I mean, they're a Southeast Conference team. They're physical. They're going to be a pretty football team. You know what that gives? That gives us an opportunity to go do something that nobody thinks we can. We'll see what happens on Saturday.
And most importantly, you feel like your team is better prepared to go on the road and play an SEC team in their house this go-round.
We're not scared, and we love the opportunity. And that's what I'm proud of, because I didn't feel that way last year.
Coach G, best of luck against the Tigers.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Robert.
For Chase Christensen, Frank Mercogliano, and Danny Gonzales, I'm Robert Portman. So long, everybody. Go Lobos.
2 straight drop back, 5-man pressure. Throws it over the middle, it's intercepted. Another Lobo turnover.